Everybody, I'm Yiayia. Today I'm gonna make a baklava. First of all, melt 1 pound of butter, sweet butter. Melted is right here.
So now she's putting how many sticks of butter?
1 pound.
1 pound of butter. It has to be melted.
And over here is about 4 cups walnuts, already crushed.
So when you crush them, what'd you do? Did you put them in a blender?
I'll put them in the little mixer there.
So she has a little portable mixer.
Over here's the walnuts, about 4 cups. We put about 1/4 pound breadcrumbs, about 1/4 pound sugar.
Does it matter what kind of breadcrumbs you use?
No,
Doesn't
just
matter.
golden brown.
Just golden breadcrumbs.
And a little bit cinnamon.
So as you guys know, Yiayia's been cooking for over 60 years now.
And
So when she says a little bit, she usually just eyeballs it. But how much would you say? How much cinnamon would you say you've added?
About teaspoon.
About
1
a teaspoon.
You mix it all together. Over here we have 1 pound phyllo.
Does it matter what kind of phyllo you get?
Thin, the very thin phyllo.
So you have to get thin phyllo. So I bought this box for her the other day, and they had 2 different types. They had a thicker crust and a thinner crust. So phyllo dough is very thin, so you do have to make sure that you're not pulling it or tearing it, because it does rip very easily like paper.
At the bottom of the pan, melt with a little butter, back and forth.
So you're just covering the bottom with a little bit of the melted butter?
Yes, that way the phyllo can be a little crispy. Stick the phyllo at the bottom. A little butter.
So now you're layering more butter.
Yes, more butter. Little walnuts.
So how much walnuts would you say you're adding at
About
this
4
point?
cups
About 4 cups?
Yes.
Total.
total. You put more phyllo.
So now another layer of the phyllo dough.
Yeah.
So would you say this is like a lasagna, where you're layering everything?
Yes. More butter.
So to make baklava, there's really not a lot of ingredients for it, is there?
No, very little and very easy to make.
So a few of our followers asked how they can make this diabetic friendly.
Just put a lot of sugar.
So you just put less sugar.
Yeah. You don't have to put in sugar if you don't want to inside the mix.
Uh-huh.
You have to do the syrup different.
So the reason baklava is sweet is the syrup that she puts on top. So wait till the end, because she does have a secret recipe. Well, not really secret, but she does things very different from most people. So you guys are going to be able to see how you can customize the dressing that goes on top. So what are you using to spread the butter?
Paintbrush.
So she's using a paintbrush.
You can get any place.
Very old school.
You keep to put a butter all the time. Oh, the oven is ready.
So just keep layering. I will have a recipe posted down below, translated from Yiayia's old recipe. So for those of you that would like the written recipe, I will have it posted down below. So a few people have questions. Yiayia, how'd you learn how to cook? Is the first question.
My first question, my grandmother.
Her grandmother. When do you really recall starting to cook?
It was 1963.
1963 is when you
Yes.
first really started to
Started
cook.
cooking, yes.
And your son was born in
1963.
1963. Would you say baklava is one of the easiest recipes, Greek recipes?
Very easy.
Very easy. So what's your favorite Greek recipe to cook?
Roast lamb.
Roast lamb. So for those of you that might not know, my grandmother, or my Yiayia, was born in Greece. What part of Greece were you born in?
Sparta.
Sparta.
Messinias.
When did you come to America?
1960.
1960. Did you speak any English whatsoever?
No,
So how many layers of phyllo are you putting in between?
but two.
About 2.
You can put it, no matter how many walnuts, you can put it extra if you want to. You don't have to put it 4 cups, you can put it 5 cups.
So this recipe really depends on each person's particular taste then.
Yes.
So if they want a thicker baklava, they can have more walnuts. If they don't want them so finely chopped, they can chop them a little bit thinner.
Yeah, they can do any size if they want.
Is this your final layer?
No more. Just put everything the leftover, put it on all the top.
So now all the leftover butter and walnuts go on top, or just the butter?
No, just the butter and the rest phyllo.
So it's going to take 1 full box of phyllo dough. So for those of you that have never seen phyllo dough before, when it goes in the oven, it becomes very brittle, kind of like dough or like bread. Of course, there's no yeast in it, so it doesn't rise, but it becomes very flaky and crusty. So roast lamb's your favorite thing to cook, but that's more of a hearty dinner. What's your favorite dessert, like baklava, to cook?
I like it. Kuluria,
Kuludia,
kurabiedes,
kurabiedes.
finikia, and more other things like toburico.
Mm-hmm. So your favorite, how would you describe it? Kurabiedes, how would you describe that?
Well, it's white cookies with a white powder on the top, and you put a different. That's very easy to make it too, because you don't need too much stuff. You cut all the edges right here.
So now she's cutting all the excess off so it looks nice and clean. So she's just going around the edge of the container and just chopping it off. Are you cutting it down to the bottom of the pan?
Yes. And take the extra phyllo and throw away. You don't need that.
So now you're just tucking in any extra pieces around the side.
And you cut them.
So now she's going to cut it into little pieces. So you're just cutting it in straight lines?
Yes.
So she just cut it perfectly straight across. So now you're going to cut it even more now.
Yes. My knife is not cut. I'm going to cut 1 each. Now you put the rest of the butter on. The leftover butter you put all on the top. Now you want to put some little glove on the top.
So these are just regular cloves.
Gloves.
So let's hold some of those up so some people can see. So they're just little cloves.
And you put it on the middle of the piece for flavor.
So she's just placing 1 piece of clove in each of the pieces of baklava. It gives it flavor, but it also looks beautiful afterwards, doesn't it, Yiayia?
Yep.
So you said people used to chew on the cloves back in the day, didn't they, Yiayia?
Yes.
As breath mints?
Yep. Yes. Now we have to start to put in the oven to cook to be golden brown color.
So how long would you say until it gets golden brown?
Maybe about half hour.
About a half hour.
350.
So you want to check every few minutes
Yes.
to make sure it's not burning, and you have the temperature set at 350?
Yes.
And is it important to preheat the oven?
Yes. The next step, we're gonna make the syrup. We go top of the baklava. 1 cup sugar,
Just regular white sugar?
white sugar, yes, and 2 cups water.
So this is the part when I said people do it a little bit differently. More often than not, what people do in baklava is they use honey. I personally have never been a fan of honey in my baklava, and my grandma taught me to use sugar water. I think it gives a better flavor. It
Not
also
so
keeps, it makes it not so sweet, but it also keeps it from being super clumpy and heavy.
And 1 stick cinnamon stick,
So 1 stick of cinnamon,
and a little bit, about 1 teaspoon lemon juice.
a teaspoon of lemon juice.
And let it boil for a few minutes. The baklava has to be warm and the syrup has to be cold. And you put them over the baklava. Oh, baklava is ready.
Ooh, look at that, you guys.
Look nice.
Doesn't that look delicious?
And now the baklava is hot. The syrup is cold.
So the syrup, you kept on the heat just enough to melt all of the sugar, correct?
Yes.
And that's it.
Cook for a few minutes.
Just for a couple minutes.
And put them all over the baklava. It's going to be some all over.
So now the baklava is going to absorb all of that sugared water, right?
Yep.
So as Yiayia said before, you don't have to add any sugar into the recipe. You could just add it into the sugar water, or if you would like, you could use honey as a substitute. I prefer this, it's a little bit lighter. But here's the baklava. So now she's just turning it around so that all the sugar water
can go all over.
goes all over. So she cut the baklava before putting it in the oven, but you still have to cut it a little bit to separate the pieces. So now she's just going throughout and cutting all of the pieces into individual slices.
To look nice.
To look nice. What is that called? Do you know?
Cupcake.
Cupcake holder?
That looks now.
Look how pretty that looks.
And you serve this. Now it's a little hot. You have to wait to eat them. Thank you for watching. I hope you liked this video. Give this video a thumbs up.
Thumbs up! Woo!